I will just say that paying $10,000 a year in interest to save $1,500 a year in tax savings does not compute, okay? That's like paying $10 to save $2. Like, it just doesn't even make sense. Hey everyone, it's Tina with Picture It Personal Finance, where I am a financial coach who helps people understand how to achieve financial success by having a great understanding of what is going on with their money and setting appropriate goals to eliminate debt and build financial security so that they can have the optimistic future that they're looking for. Now, I will be honest, every financial coach is going to have slightly different beliefs on how things are handled. Like, there are some of us who are totally anti-debt. There are some of us that believe in using debt under certain circumstances. There are some of us that just focus solely on cash flow. And we each have our things that we feel very strongly about. Now, one of the things that I personally love, and I will talk to my people about, my clients about, and really a lot of other people as well, is the fact that I am mortgage free. I love being mortgage free. I love it, you guys. I'm telling you, I get a lot of flack for it though. There are so many people who believe that having a mortgage is like having cheap money, right? So you're essentially borrowing to pay for a house at low interest rates, which because of inflation will be changing soon. However, I want to tell this story today of what happened in a networking meeting that I was in a few weeks ago. And I hope it will highlight for you why it is that I love being mortgage free. And then I'm going to remind you guys of a story that I've told in the past. So what happened was I was in this group of women, a women's networking group. We're all of us entrepreneurs, and it's a very lovely group. It's actually a 5 a.m. club. So you guys know I'm still not as consistent as I was. I'll do a video on this too if I'm still getting up as early as I was previously when I posted my last video about getting up early. So stay tuned for that, that's coming. Now I was in this 5 a.m. club networking group, and we were just having that like initial chit chat that people do while various people join the Zoom meeting because it is an online session. And in the conversation, somebody started off by sort of lamenting how inflation is affecting them. And they know I'm a financial coach, so it's not like I chimed in and got all like over the top with this. As a matter of fact, I stayed quiet. I wanted to hear what people had to say. And it was like this situation where it slowly kind of went round robin around the room of all the people that were participating in the Zoom conference, where everyone sort of expressed like how difficult it's been for them. And I had recently read an article that said 64% of Americans, because of inflation, are now living paycheck to paycheck. So fewer people were previously living paycheck to paycheck in America. But in 2022, now, because of the current inflation, that percentage of Americans has increased to 64%. And I will link the article that I read below so you guys can check it out if you're interested. And I don't know that these people on the call were specifically living paycheck to paycheck, but the feeling was that inflation, the increase in the expense for groceries, and especially the increase in the expense for gas, and fear of what was going to happen with interest rates was certainly pertinent to the group. So everybody goes around and sort of like expresses their concern, and then it comes back to me, and I felt really weird saying anything at first because sometimes I'm a little bit tentative around sounding too braggy about these things. You know, I don't want to come off as like holier than thou or better than you or anything like that, but I had to be honest. And so I did very candidly say, I totally understand everything you all are going through because I see it with clients as well. But I personally have not experienced any of that. And I firmly believe the reason I don't is because I have really reduced my expenses, in part because I don't have a home payment. And the room kind of got quiet, and one of the women, bless her, she's such a great advocate for me and the service that I offer, was like, Tina, you've got to talk about this. You've got to tell other people that inflation doesn't have to be this scary thing if your money life is in order. And I'm like, girl, preach. Yes, I will tell people, hence this video. You know, sure, it pains me. I filled my tank the other day and it was $70 freaking. Like, that blew my mind, but I was like, whatever, take it in stride. In addition, my groceries, I, for a very long time, was very consistent, $500 every 2 weeks for groceries. And it's pretty consistently $600 to $650 every 2 weeks now. And our eating out budget has gone up a little bit too. But for me, because my money life is so well organized, and because we don't have this huge payment for cars or for home, it essentially amounts to us to sending less to savings. We're investing less. We're still hitting our sinking funds. Like, I'm not worried about sinking funds at all. It's more about how much extra can I send to my brokerage accounts. And that's really where it's at for me. And on top of that, I want to remind again, for those of you who are thinking about being mortgage free, you're going to get flack from other people. They're going to say, oh, hang on to your mortgage, it'll give you tax savings. And I will just say that paying $10,000 a year in interest to save $1,500 a year in tax savings does not compute, okay? That's like paying $10 to save $2. Like, it just doesn't even make sense. So don't let people talk you into that. And also, if you need to take out a mortgage, like, I'm definitely not shaming anybody who takes out a mortgage. As a matter of fact, my husband and I want to buy another property, and we will take a mortgage out for that. And then we will just do whatever we can do to pay that off as quickly as possible. That's how we've always done it. And so I'm not averse to having a mortgage, but if you can pay it off and be free of that burden of that payment, then by all means do that. If we still had our mortgage to pay, I don't know that I would have had the confidence, even with my runway account, to say, yeah, I'm totally okay letting us live solely on my husband's income. For those of you who are contemplating it and you feel, oh, I don't know if I should, people make fun of me, like, just, you know what? Tell them to buzz off or don't. Just in your mind, think, they don't know what's best for me. I know what's best for me. And if my heart and if my mind and if my soul is saying pay off this house so that I can feel like I am free of this burden of this payment, then by all means do that, because you do have the power to make these really big choices in your life. And it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Take it from me. For as much flack as I catch on Reddit when I post about these things, I truly believe that I can honestly say I have zero regrets. And I truly believe it's what's enabled me, my confidence, to make some of the bigger decisions that we've made in my business and in my life. So there you have it, guys. Yes, inflation is terrible. There are ways to make it less terrible for you, which include reducing your debt expenses. And for me, the biggest debt expense that we got rid of was our mortgage payment.